Hey man, episode 90.
Hey, it's the
The
COD
COD.
90.
Yes, sir. Your
Back
boys
again.
Ryan and Paul all
Hey
day,
man,
every day.
Paul and Ryan, man.
Yes, sir.
Keeping
Yes,
it rolling,
sir.
keeping it rolling.
Keeping
It's the
it
holiday season.
gangsta. Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir. So, I mean, where we at with it, man? Cause last episode, which was at the top of this month, December 1st, we did take a little break. It's December 20th now. So we're gonna
That's
give
right.
you a little bit of something before Christmas. But I mean, it was to be expected. Things are getting busy. It's a lot of holiday travel, a lot of holiday shopping still got to be done.
That's right. Did
So,
you get all your Christmas shopping done?
halfway, halfway. I still got to do some more. I'm probably gonna go outside tomorrow, see what I can get.
Right.
I ordered some things online to pick up at the mall, so we're gonna try to be
Right.
in and out and things like that.
I
But
got two
shit, man.
items. I got
Yeah.
I got two
Go.
items I ordered online, man, and
Yeah,
they haven't gotten to me yet. So I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking
that's
at the
how it
calendar.
goes. And shit, bro, I just had some joints come in from Nike. And FedEx is up to their old ways because, I saw the box and it was clean open. So it's one of those
Really?
things where like, yo, if I had some decent joints, would you have stolen them? Like
Exactly.
why is my box clean open or something like that? Like don't look at what I got, please.
And you know
Like,
what? It's hard during this. It's hard during this season too, bro, because they
right.
always. Because I got a note from UP. Well, not a note. UPS called me. They're like, "Hey, yeah, we got your package outside. Do you want us to just leave it outside?" They're stealing a lot during this season. So I'm wondering, you got to worry about the workers, or you got to worry about the people stealing them outside.
Exactly, exactly. You got to worry about everything nowadays. So it was one of those
Exactly.
things where it was like, all right, I know this is the type of season, but don't pull it with me, please.
Right.
Don't pull it with
Protect your
me.
neck.
Right,
Right.
right. But yeah, man, while we were gone, I definitely dropped a COD Radio episode, COD Radio 19.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. A bunch of us got in the court and did like we do at this time. We played our top tens, but the way it goes, and of course, a lot of people might have multiple or similar joints on their top 10. So since we're doing like a mix or like a live recording or a show, we go in order. So, when I went first, that was my top 10. Whoever went next couldn't play the same joints. So
Okay.
if you're at the end, it's one of those things where, damn, like everyone's probably played your list, but you got to still kind of like think of something. So definitely go and check that out. Um, it's I
God
listed
radio.
everybody's, yes, sir. I listed everybody's top 10 as well, so you can see and kind of go from there, compared to your list and things like that. But it was good to get back to COD Radio, man, because I was looking at the analytics for Spotify. They do their end of year thing, and it's crazy, right? Because
I saw that.
it's one of those things where, like, yo, with YouTube, of course, we are available anywhere podcasts are available and on YouTube. And it's one of those things where if you base everything off YouTube, you might think like, damn, it doesn't look like it's too big of an audience and things like that. But looking at those Spotify analytics definitely kind of solidified what we already thought. A lot of our listeners are audio only. They like to listen on the go and things like that. And you can see that with the regular listenership or the analytics about people sharing our podcast as soon as it drops and things like that. So, and I know that's just for one platform, but it was pretty good, cool to see that we do have people like checking us out and listening and things like that. So we're just gonna try to keep doing our thing and make this shit better in 2023. Get a
That's
couple
right.
live pods and things like that. So, start stepping it up for sure. But
Yeah, we still
where
rocking. We're gonna keep it rocking.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Where are we at with it, man? Where do you want to start? Should we continue this
Man.
top 10? Should we continue this top 10 conversation and kind of go through our personal joints, or should we kind of speak about what's going on in the news? Because there's a lot. So there's not, there's the topics aren't scarce today. However, we want to start it off.
Well, I just want to say, man, because I was watching the World Cup, and I don't know if
Right.
you tuned in or not, but
Yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah.
that was an amazing finale.
The last game
France,
was crazy.
oh yeah, crazy, crazy, man. And the fact that it ended with those penalty kicks is,
Right.
blows my mind. I would think they would put like a little bit more time. I know they can't change the rules for the final game, but I mean,
Right.
it was just so close. You know what I mean? Three to
Exactly.
three going into the penalty kicks, and yeah, yeah. And if you're in the U.S. or you somewhere and you don't watch soccer, man, so, I don't know, or football as they call it, right? We call it soccer. And look, I want to talk about that too because I had somebody say, "Man, why is the U.S. call it soccer?" Right? I was seeing that on
Right.
the internet. I don't know if you
Right.
saw that. The history behind it is that when we broke off from England, when we won our independence from England, we
Right.
changed everything. Anything
Everything.
they called it, everything. They called it football. We called it soccer. They called it lawn bowling. We start calling it bocce. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
little
Right.
stuff like that. We just started naming it to as our own. So that's where soccer came from. It was to
Okay.
break away
Okay.
from that colony lingo, if you will.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that. They're just like, oh, Americans just want to be different. Nah, man, it's a deeper reason for it. But yeah, man, it was crazy. It was amazing to watch, and man, I I have to go to the next one. The next one's in Canada, Mexico, U.S. At least got to go to a game. Maybe
Right.
go to Canada. Maybe go down to Mexico.
So
Why not?
that's who's up for it next. Canada, US, or Mexico.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Bet,
North
bet.
America. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
World Cup. So
Yes,
that's gonna be
sir.
crazy.
Exactly. That's gonna be intense for sure.
Yeah, hundred
We
percent,
already
man. So
we already saw what was going on in Qatar, so
yeah, yeah, there's a lot going on in Qatar, and a lot that you know, they still gotta kind of answer for as well.
right. So in your eyes,
players, everything.
Is Messi the GOAT?
I would say yeah. I would say yeah. Just because of all the championships he's won, and
Right,
all of his accolades. I mean, it's kind of hard to deny it. You know what I mean? That's just like people who
right,
deny that Michael Jordan is the GOAT based on somebody else's stats, or it's people who deny like Tom Brady's the GOAT based on Aaron
right,
Rodgers' stats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how good somebody is, championships is what matters, and
right.
Messi got a lot of, you know. Um, but that to say, is he the best soccer player right now playing? I mean, your boy Mbappe from France, he scored three of those goals on his own.
He did. You got
He's
to
the one
shout
who
out
kept us on.
Mbappe as well. At
Yeah,
23, for him to be
23 years
playing like
old, bro.
that, right?
Yeah, 23 years
Insane.
old. He scored three goals to keep up with the whole Argentinian team. So
Right,
you gotta give flowers what flowers are due.
right.
But yeah, I would call Messi the GOAT, man. I mean, how do you deny him? You know,
Yeah, it's
how
hard
do you
to.
deny him? It's
He's got
hard
the
to.
stats to back it.
Yeah, he does. He's got the championships and the stats. So yeah, congratulations to them. I got some Argentina fans in the friends list. So I mean, it was good for everybody though. It was good for
Right.
everybody, especially during
So
these hard economic times. Need
right?
something to pick
What's
you up.
next? What's next sports wise? What we paying attention to?
Sports wise, Super Bowl. Super Bowl's in February.
Okay, okay.
Um, so football right now, basketball
Right,
is happening, but I mean, basketball's a long season,
right,
so we'll see. I haven't really been tuning in. My Bulls, man, they're up and down like a roller coaster.
right,
With what the Bears have been doing this season, I
right,
need to
right, right.
maintain my sanity, if you will.
Exactly, exactly. Bulls, Bears, they doing what they do best. Chicago sports
Right.
is, giving us a little heart attack right now. Um, you
Make
know,
sure we
who are the front runners? Who are the favorites for the Super Bowl right now, if you had to call it?
Eagles for sure. They're 13-1. You can't
Right.
deny that.
Hmm.
Can't deny that. And man, surprisingly to me, the Cowboys, I think, I
Right.
mean, they just lost against the Jaguars on a fluke pick six. But I still say, watch out. Because they got
Right.
all the tools. They've had all the tools for years, bro. They just couldn't find that edge or put it all together to win a Super
Right.
Bowl. Yeah, you can't count them out, man. So I'll say Eagles. Eagles or Cowboys. Yeah, the Vikings, they're doing the best in the NFC North, but who knows what they do. So, and you
Right.
on the East Coast too, man. I know the Eagles fans been acting a fool.
Oh, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit for sure. I'm still kind of in Commander land. It's a few Eagles fans out here, but definitely if you move more up to Philly, it gets a little louder and things like that. Um,
Yeah.
if we want to stay on sports for a little bit, basketball, like, I'm just seeing memes go around talk about, yo, if you are healthy and you can wear a jersey, come try out for the Bulls right now. So it's like it's a little tough, man. I don't know what's going on with our
Yeah,
guys, but you know,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
hopefully
Look,
hopefully we can recharge in the new year.
yeah, 100%, man. And Lonzo, that whatever injury he got, man, like they had to
Right,
take him back for surgery. Like I guess it's some kind of some injury that just won't go away. And he's a big part of the team that we have right now. As far as
right,
controlling the ball, controlling the court,
right,
making things happen. So shit, God bless him. I wish well upon him, but it's like, man, we kind of need we don't have that floor general like we need. Caruso, he's cool, but he's only cool for a little bit. He's cool coming off the bench, not
right,
running the show. So yeah, yeah, I would have liked to see Lonzo, but I don't know, man. I don't know what our future holds. People are, the internet is undefeated, man. They're putting
right,
out like all these crazy trades and stuff, and I'm just like, come on, man. Giving up Ayo, giving up DeRozan, giving up Levine for these two people, or for Durant. I was like, for Durant, come on,
right,
man. You don't even have to watch football. I mean, football. You don't even have to watch basketball every day to know that KD might not be the answer. You know what I mean? Not to say he's not a good player, but we're not giving up the whole team for Kevin Durant.
right, right, right. Can't
Right.
do that just yet.
No, not
Right,
at all.
in general. So yeah, I mean,
Right.
that's where we at sports wise. I mean, just kind of like pay attention to things. Hopefully Chicago can get it together for, grab onto what we can, salvage whatever we can.
Yeah.
We did have a few big stories in hip hop this week. Have you been keeping up with the Tory and Meg case?
I've been watching it. I've been
Right.
watching it. They said that one of their key witnesses, right? She recanted her statement, or go into
Mm-hmm.
detail about that.
Yeah. So her friend Kelsey or something, she's had a lot of conflicting statements on the stand. And now, one of the key witnesses, a resident out there, is saying how he saw Kelsey fire a gun. And, they did have, traces of what's it called?
A gun
Gunpowder on
violence.
her and things like that. So yeah, I mean, they're implicating her. Some people are saying that, she was shooting the gun, uh Tori was wrestling the gun away from her. Some say Tori had a gun as well. So right now it just seems to be a lot of reasonable doubt. Don't necessarily
Yeah,
know what's going on. He say, she say. We don't have clear cameras, evidence has been tampered with. So, at this point, that's kind of tough. On the other side of things, we got the YSL case that's still going on. Gunna, he had taken a plea, which basically stated that he acknowledges that YSL is a gang. He does maintain that he has not snitched, that his testimony can't be used against anybody in a court of law. But he has been released. The other founder of YSL has been released as well. Young Thug is still in uh prison, and they're every day in court he's trying to get a motion to be released as well. But obviously they're trying to kind of throw more charges at him. But with that being said, did you
And I
keep
saw
up with this
somebody,
story? Right,
I did, and I saw somebody tweet out. I forget who it was, but somebody tweeted out, uh, "Gunner's not a snitch until Thug is said."
right,
So until it's confirmed by Thug or anybody else who's higher up in YSL, so to speak, you can't label Gunna as a snitch because he got a plea bargain. He might have got a bargain just like, I mean, I've had a case where you go to court and then they offer you, they're just like, hey, look, man, we don't think it was as serious as this. Why don't you just go ahead and do like 5 days of community service or something like that? We'll just call it a
right,
misdemeanor. You know what I mean? That happens all the
right,
time in the court system. Anybody who's familiar with it knows that, right?
right,
So you can't. So I saw people, kind of talking like, "Oh, Doug released, he snitched." I mean, not Doug, Gunner released, he snitched. And I'm like, you don't know that. You're not sitting in that courtroom. You're not talking to those lawyers. So wait till the
right,
news comes out before you blast it on social media.
right. Yeah, that's real. I guess did you read anything about his plea? Like, did you have any kind of opinions of your own? Do you think he snitched, like based on what was going on?
I think that the case was weak in the first place.
Right, right,
I think the whole case. I mean, just me personally. Based on lyrics, based on this, based on that. Rappers are storytellers. It could be a hundred
right,
hundred scenarios that they can talk about that might have happened in the hood, that may have,
right,
or may have just, you know, happen in Wonderland, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they just
right,
tell storytellers. So of course they're gonna paint this picture of, that lifestyle or whatever lifestyle they want. It's not to be used against them, you know. Uh,
right,
there's a million other artists who have painted stories. I mean, Slick Rick used to do that all the time. Kenny Vaughn, rest in peace, right? That was his way of rapping. You know what I mean?
right,
Somebody says something in a rap song, and then you charge them for it. Like, I don't know. I think it's all weak. I don't think they had anything on them. They're because they can only hold it for a certain amount of time, especially when somebody gets
right.
counseled.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think the whole thing is weak. Me personally.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. They were definitely, grasping at straws, trying to make things stick. But one thing you said about, lyrics and things like that, there is a possibility that Tory Lanez, in his case, might have to take the stand or could take the stand and be cross-examined. But with that, if he does take the stand, they said it's okay to use his content from the past few months, his lyrics, his music videos and things like that. And I know that's been, debated in the news on if that's constitutional. A few states had signed laws saying that you can't do that. But with Tory Lanez, that might be a little detrimental. He might have to reconsider stepping on the stand just because if you recall, the music for the past couple months that he's put out has been kind of like
Just mentioned it.
about
It's
the
kind of like,
case. Right. It's
right.
been it's been taunting, it's not been apologetic. I mean, regardless of what it is, he should not have been referencing this case for the past few months. But he has been. So
100%.
now if he does get on the, stand, this can be used against him. So, a little tough for sure. Like I'm not sure the
Yeah, it's
end
tough,
goal
man.
here. Right.
And it's messed up because, and we talked about this on a previous episode, bro, how
Right.
people use things that happen as clout, as ways to boost their careers and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
Tory, Tory, he obviously used this situation since it's in the news and a bunch of shit happening. People want to know what's going on, try to hear some details, or try to see, you know what I'm saying, what the drama is, and all of a sudden, right when this shit happens, the next week or two, he releases music
Right.
talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So of course people are. listening, right? It's more streams. So I just
Yeah.
in my head, man, I feel like people sometimes shoot themselves in the foot because if I'm going to court for something, I'm not talking about it. You know what I mean? And that's just me. Like I said, this
Exactly.
is me personally, man. Cloud or no cloud, right? I'm not
Right.
talking about it, man. So he kind of put that on himself. To be
Right.
honest with you,
Shot
if they
himself in
want
the
to,
foot. No pun intended.
no pun intended. Right, 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 right. Big
Hey.
facts though. Big facts though, bro. I don't
Right.
get it. And it's just kind of like I said, it's just kind of funny that he releases that right after that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that seems like a little cloud chasing to me.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, you're an artist. What are your thoughts on
I mean, no, it definitely is, right? All that for a drop of clout, because at the end of the day, what did he do? He sees the opportunity. He wrote music about it. He wasn't vague enough. He was definitely giving his side, and then outside of that, it just ramped up from there, right? So it didn't
it? Right,
stop at him giving his side or saying he didn't do it. He actually actively dissed Meg's new guy party
right,
Fontaine. He put out a video of him cutting up horses' feet and things like that. So, a lot of things he was doing was directly taunting Meg, and I'm sure they're going to use that against him. So,
right.
in the moment, is it provocative? Yeah. Is he making money because now people kind of want to look at the train wreck? Of course, but
Yeah,
you're gonna have to pay
couldn't
for
bet,
it
bro.
now. Right.
Yeah,
So,
couldn't bet.
so Right. So to me, his best move is to stay off of the stand. Hopefully the case is strong enough where he doesn't have to get on the stand. Um, in his case, don't take anything I'm saying as, an endorsement for Tory or anything. Um, but if he does take the stand, that's gonna happen. And none of his content that he made paints himself in a good light. So,
Right.
basically it's one of those things where you took the short term route with long-term consequences. So,
That's strong.
right.
Strong analysis, my boy.
You know what I mean? That's a fact.
Strong analysis.
Same thing he did that night when, allegedly he shot at Shorty, short-term
Right.
decision, long-term
Exactly.
consequences. So, yeah,
Period.
it's
Period.
tough.
Yeah, yeah.
Tough
And
for
that's
bro, for sure.
yeah, man. I mean, you got to play it smart in these situations. It's not a game.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, those them Rico cases are real.
Right. Yeah, nah. And you mentioned Rico. I'm not sure if you know who Sauce Walker is from
Hmm.
Texas, Houston artist, but 14 of his associates and him, got arrested. So they are the newest rap group to be hit with a Rico charge. So clearly this is not the end with YSL. We're gonna keep seeing these. Just a heads up. I wouldn't even say heads up because I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I know something. But um, just a caution to anybody who is in this industry and who wants to move accordingly, be very clean and be very intentional with the moves you make. Because clearly, if you're on the
That,
phone and you're discussing things or you even know about somebody else doing something, right now it just seems to be very loose that they're trying to get
yeah,
these things to stick. So, yeah,
they're targeted, man. They're targeted in the
exactly,
industry.
exactly, exactly.
So you got to know.
Right, right, right. Something that you know, people joke about rap being one of the most dangerous professions, but it kind of is coming true. Just with jealousy from the streets. A lot of these people are involved with the streets and things like that. But you'll see, you'll see a group that you thought was removed, like the Migos, right? And then something
Right.
happens to take off. So clearly, we don't see a lot of this in any other genres. It's happening in hip hop a lot. And now you can just add the legal ramifications to it, while you're building a business. So yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely hope things change.
Hey, keep it art, man. Keep it art.
Exactly.
Keep it
Exactly. That's
pure.
what it should be. That's what it should have been this whole time.
That's
Should
what
have
it
been
should
this
have been
whole
this
time.
whole time. And and just a message. I mean, we grew up around that. We come from that. So it's like, man, once you on that level, bro, you have or lady, shit, you got nothing to prove. You
Right.
know, you got nothing to prove, man. Keep the art at that point. You got a
Right.
platform. You can influence the masses. Shit, influence them in a better way, in a better down a better path. Especially nowadays, losing too many,
Right. Right.
too money. So
Now you mentioned, keep it art. Of course, that kind of, brings me to NFTs, things like that. That was,
yeah,
that industry was popping at one point. Things have cooled off. What that reminds me of is this FTX situation. Have you been keeping up with that?
man, I've been keeping up with it. It's crazy because crypto is the future, right?
Right.
All right, let me digress. Let me digress. This is I'm not telling anybody, us from the COD, I'm not telling anybody to go buy cryptos, go buy NFTs, go do any of that, right? I'm saying do your research before you invest and pay attention to what's going on in the markets. To me, my own opinion, I believe crypto is the future, right? That method of doing business, you know what I mean, buying things, it just kind of makes sense. We've been off the standard. The American dollar has been off the gold standard for a long time now.
Right.
So they're just printing money. So why can't that be translated into something like cryptocurrency, right?
Hmm.
My thing is this: just like there are going to be a lot of ups and downs, man. There are going to be a lot of companies that are created as cryptocurrency companies that are just going to be scams, right?
Right.
There are going to be a lot of ups and downs on this road to crypto really taking hold in our society. A lot of people say it's here, but a lot of people are still losing money, right? A lot of people made a lot of money, but a lot of people are still losing money, you know? What I
Yeah.
want to say is that you have to be careful with who you invest in. And this is a prime example, bro. This is a prime
Yeah.
example. This guy and his team, they got so much money because crypto was booming, right? The crypto rush is what I'm gonna call it. It was
Right.
booming. So they got all this investment money, right? So imagine, bro, you got a little company you started, right? Crypto exchange, whatever. You get all of a sudden you got billions of dollars, right? You're like, fuck it, I want to keep it going, right? So I'm gonna pay these actors and I'm gonna pay these actresses to promote my stuff.
Right.
Boom. So I got all these actors and actresses to promote it, but
Tom Brady
they
was
might not
promoting as well.
100%, bro. A lot of them were, and they
Hmm.
might not necessarily have been invested, but they got paid to promote it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I say that because a lot of people question. They're like, "Hey, should the celebrities who promoted it be prosecuted just like the man?" I'm gonna say no.
Right.
Because if somebody came to the COD right now and was like, "Hey, man, I'll give you guys $100,000. I got this business. It's legit. It has an LLC or S corp, whatever the case may be. This is what we do." And we decide like, "Fuck it, 100 G's. Yeah, we'll promote it on the COD. Why not?"
Right.
And we promote them as an ad. That's not saying that we invested in it or anything like that. It's saying that we took a look at it. He has a business. He paid us and advertised it. Cool, right? That's as legit as we needed to be, right? It's registered with the government as a business, which
Right.
FTX was,
Hmm.
which FTX was,
Yeah.
and they got paid for it. So I don't think that they should be prosecuted for it. But him, oh yeah, he was at his house in the Bahamas. They locked him up in the Bahamas.
Got arrested. Yes,
So
sir.
yeah. But was it Bankman Free?
Hmm.
He they arrested him in the Bahamas, and then he just agreed they're gonna extradite him to the U.S. for prosecution. He
Right.
100% has to. It's you know it's the Bitcoin Bernie Madoff. right?
I was gonna bring up Bernie. I was gonna bring up Bernie. You know, this is
Yeah,
another. This is just a newer age pyramid scheme. It's a
yeah.
digital pyramid scheme. It's advanced. You know,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's
But what he
different
did
toilet,
wrong,
same shit. Right.
100%, bro, 100%. What he did wrong is that because he would have been all right. He would have been all right, right? But what he did wrong was he took all that money, and I don't know if he didn't have the infrastructure or he didn't talk to the right people, but
Right.
he started taking the money that they invested, and then he started using it to invest himself. He started using that money for stuff as his own piggy bank, as his own investment tool, which he
Right.
should not have done. Which, which he should not have done, bro. It's not your money. You're right. And at that point, you got investors, and your investors have to agree on any other financial moves that you're making. So, boom, this crypto shit hits. People start trying to ask for their money back. He doesn't have it.
Right.
Can't do that, man. That's theft. You can't do that, And yeah, he made a bad mistake, man. I can't say he's a bad person because he did, they locked him up and he's getting extradited and he's gonna go to trial for his shit, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know if he's a bad person. I can't say he's a bad person, but he definitely made some financial mistakes. And that just goes to say you can't trust everybody with your money, you know?
Exactly.
You can't trust everybody with your money.
You
So
know, you got to do your due diligence.
yeah,
Um, research the company for sure.
yeah.
Make sure you got an idea of what they're doing with your money. Cause yeah, bro, FTX, it just sounds like a good company name. It sounds like they know what they're doing on paper. It might look what they're doing, but it might look like they know what they're doing. But
Right.
you know, you really get down to it, there's no way that some of these people are going to be able to get their money back. You know, it's not
They're not.
FDIC insured and things like that. There is no, you know,
Exactly.
that's just gone. So,
It's just gone,
uh,
bro. And listen, FTX, right? How many on Instagram? How many spam forex
exactly,
traders do you get who
exactly.
follow you, who message you? I at least get three a week.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right,
And you know, we've brought that up and there's been people who are like, no, Forex, Forex, Forex. But it's just like, yeah, man, if you are already weary about something like Forex and you wouldn't, you know, trust such and such with the money, then, you know, just because there's a bigger company with a website called FTX doesn't mean that they're any different than your local scammer,
right,
you know?
right.
And especially when, you know, like you said, hey, crypto could possibly be the future, but you know, it's one of those things where
They got some growing to do.
I would say yeah, they have growing to do, but I would also say that, you know, don't be mad at regulations. You know, like I'm not sure what um you know, political ideology a lot of people listening might follow, but you know, I do feel like, you know, when it you know, a lot of people say they're fiscally conservative, things like that. I feel like
Right.
that's where you get certain ideals like, you know, you want to go away from regulation, right? Anytime you have a Republican president, they kind of like to deregulate things and stuff like that. But when you know, regulation is good sometimes, right? Because clearly, you know, you got to put some checks and balances in place to safeguard people. But when you have nothing, that's the Wild West, like you said, crypto rush. So while there's going to be a lot of good, there's going to be a lot of bad because there's no regulation. So you're going to get things like this. You know,
Exactly.
now things are changing, right? You said he got arrested, he's going to be extradited, things like that. Doesn't mean that people are going to get their money back. So
No, not at all. If your money wasn't insured,
to
you can
begin with,
sue the
right?
company. Right. You can sue the company, but technically, he's an individual. You can't. I mean, you could try to sue him as an individual, but if you invested in the company and
Exactly.
not him as an individual,
Right.
I mean, good luck, right? They claim bankruptcy.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just got to be careful out here, man. And it's a scary world. Most financial uh, engines and uh, people that I follow, um, and even news. One thing has been uniform over the past couple of weeks, especially with everything that's happening in Ukraine and the economy and everything that we're dealing with, is that for the next 4 or 5 months, maybe take a step back, maybe save a little bit more, right? Maybe
Right,
don't make any large purchases right
right,
now. You know what I'm saying? Because shit is a little shaky. Who knows when
right,
who knows when this Ukraine thing ends? Who knows when, you know what I mean? We go back to some semblance of normalcy. Here we go. Here we go again,
right.
COVID. Now this, right? We're always talking about getting back to normal, but what really is normal? You know what I mean?
Exactly,
People should,
exactly. And my
yeah,
mom's friend, she just said her company laid off like 15 people, so it's definitely tough, right before the holidays. Um,
yeah. Look at Tesla.
shit,
How many
exactly,
people they let go?
exactly. So,
Twitter,
yeah.
Elon on a rampage.
And we've been speaking for a while now about, being in recession. Some people don't believe we're in a recession. I don't know how you can't, but we've been speaking about it. So it's one of those things where it's got to be a little less speaking, a little bit more preparation, because I
Yeah.
don't think it's any debate anymore. We are in some tough times, so brace yourself for that.
And I bought four things at the grocery store yesterday, and it was $75.
I was
I
about
was
to
like,
say,
damn.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. So
yeah, they play it out here, bro.
no, it really not, man. Move wisely and educate yourself.
Right,
People always ask, where does education come in? People always try to down school. People always try to down education, right? Which education doesn't have to be school, but school is just it's a way for you to learn, a place for you to learn. Um,
exactly.
and you have to educate yourself, man. You know how you have to move smart, invest smart. Where to shop, how to shop.
Right.
When to save money, how to save
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see you. I see you. So
money.
what's your plans, man? What are you doing? You staying around Colorado? You going back to Chicago?
Yeah, this year I changed it up. For the past 5, 6 years, I've been going back to Chicago, spending it with the family. Right, still love the family and everything. This year I just tried something different. I'm gonna do some skiing. I have a party that we're doing at one of my buddies' house. We're gonna have a prime rib, honey baked ham. Do
Hey,
like a potluck thing. Throw a little Christmas shindig. So it should be cool.
right,
We're
right,
doing like
right.
a white elephant. And look, I didn't know what a white elephant was, right? Somebody
Yeah,
explained to me.
explain it, cause like I halfway know.
Right. So a white elephant is just like a secret Santa. You just bring a gift. You can bring a gift from your house, something that you don't use, or you can buy something. We kept it under 25 bucks, and then you put all the gifts, and then everybody just takes a random gift. You know what I mean? You don't know what you got. It's not for a particular person. You just bought something, to kind of give to somebody else. So that's what a white
Right,
elephant. You don't have somebody's name. It's just it's just a random gift that you're just putting out there to be given away. So in my head, I would think like candles would be something good, or something you could use in the kitchen, or clothing, something unisex. So
right, right,
yeah,
right.
that's what we're doing, man. We're gonna watch some football. We're gonna eat some dinner. There's a bunch of friends coming on. I'm gonna have a COD radio on. You know how it goes.
Got to. Yeah, 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 yeah. Play some
Yeah,
jams for the year. That's
that's
what's
right.
up. That's gonna be nice. Yeah, real relaxing. You ain't gotta really worry about the holiday travel and the rush and things like that.
That's
Um,
the worst part, bro. The travel.
right,
That travel is
right,
the worst part, man. And I love,
exactly.
like I said, I love my family. Seeing them on the holidays is always an honor. But man, this year I was like, I don't know if I could do that travel.
Right. Yeah, we traveled for Thanksgiving, and it was one of those things where it was like, man, just the whole, either you're driving up or you're and that's the thing. It doesn't matter how you travel because if you're driving, there's a gang of other people driving as well. So there's traffic.
Right,
If you're flying,
right.
there's a gang of people flying as well. So it's just crowds. Every move you make, there's someone making two or three people making the same move. So I am kind of glad to be chilling. All the family came back. to the crib. So I don't necessarily have to go anywhere. But like I was saying in the beginning of the pod, or at least before we started recording, trying to get some of my shopping done earlier than or not earlier. I mean, we're already like the week
We
of.
here. We
But
here. Yeah.
that is what it is. That's how we do this. That's early for us. So, we out here moving and shaking and things like that. So yeah, man. Definitely something to look forward to. Get some time off, recharge before the new year and things like that. Um, are there any resolutions? Are you thinking that early yet?
Man, you know what? I've been living my resolution, bro. Honestly,
Facts.
this year has gone by fast, but
Mm-hmm.
I've made a lot of changes mentally,
Right.
financially,
Yep.
and man, just spiritually too. Just how I move and who I move with, and how I want to continue. And I think that it's important to allow yourself to grow. And I think that everything that's happening in the world, you know, bettering yourself and living better should just be the obvious thing to do. You know,
Exactly, exactly. It shouldn't be a resolution anymore. It should just be like, are you moving forward or backwards? We
exactly. Because I
understand.
could, yeah, and consistency, bro. We talked about that before.
Exactly.
Just really staying consistent and
Yeah.
really moving forward with a positive attitude, man. Because shit is always going to happen. You know,
Right.
they had that on T-shirts once upon a time. Shit happens, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just you just got to know that as an adult, as a person, as a human being. You know, something's always going to happen. How you handle it is what matters, and where you prepare for something to happen is the other thing that matters. So,
Exactly.
do you have health insurance? Do you have life insurance? You know, do you have some money saved up? You know, are you educating yourself on, what's going on in the world so you can act accordingly? I mean, it's just a lot of things we can touch on.
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely. Now, with that being said, I know, that's, good to hear because I kind of want to go back and I might try to, put this link in the description for people. But at the beginning of this year, we spoke about consistency. We spoke about that. So at the end of the year, to kind of give our recaps and things like that, for me, I know I still, get on the bike. That's something that I started at the beginning of the year. I still try to, stick to my dietary goals and things like that. I definitely want to uh, ramp that up, keep that going. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I think it was good to kind of verbalize that. So it was in our heads, or in the back of our minds the whole year, like, be consistent. Because it's always one of those easy jokes to make. Oh, you stay on your resolution for about like 2 or 3 weeks and then you fall off. But
Right.
actually saying that out loud and knowing that, you've recorded it and things like that, it's one of those things where, yeah, I think that did us both a good job as far as like, staying focused on what we said we would do in the beginning of the year. But to lighten things up, I mean, what's the New Year's plan if you got it?
Man, New Year's plan is just shit. Pop some champagne and enjoy it with some good people. I
For
was thinking
sure.
maybe some hot springs, maybe some mountain time. I don't know.
Okay,
I
I
haven't.
see y'all.
La,
I
la,
see y'all.
yeah. Last year I did the black tie event, which was dope. Got that experience. They had like a great Gatsby um, theme, and they had the casinos, and I was up there playing poker and playing some craps,
Hey, for
and it
sure.
was dope,
Right.
and it was dope. But I had to think about it, man. Like, how do I want to bring in this next year? You know, I feel like I said, these last couple of months kind of went fast.
Mm.
Um, and really, man, I just like you said, man, I just want to stay focused. I want to stay focused and kind of relax and go into this next year, rejuvenated, rested up, clear minded, and man, knocking it out the ballpark. You know, we on episode 90 right now. Kyle's been rocking. We're gonna hit 100
Exactly.
before it's over, and
Exactly. 100 real
we got our
soon.
real soon. We got big things coming up. And man, I'm shit. I'm proud of us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure, for
I'm proud
sure.
of
Like I
I'm
said,
proud
looking at the
of us.
stats, like I said, looking at the
Right.
stats definitely like put a lot of things into perspective, showed us where we can go. Um,
Yeah,
you know, looking up and seeing that this pod has been around for 2 years or almost 2 years, it's crazy. It's
it's
definitely
crazy.
insane.
It
But
happened
it's one of
quick.
those, yeah, it did happen mad quick. It happened mad quick. We see a lot of the fruits of our labor still burning, still growing. The online community, things like that. Stuff that I even hear in my just in real face to face life, people saying, "Yo, I want to come on the pod to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this." So it's one of those things
Right.
where, you know, we might have taken like a two week break so far just because it's the holidays, but there might be about like 5, 6, 7 episodes that are currently being planned and talked about and things like that. So just wait
Exactly.
on it. It's definitely some bigger and better things out there, but yeah, man, COD is definitely around. Um, Only gonna get better, but yeah, man,
Only.
just another year of the COD, man. It kind of just shows me that like we definitely have started something necessary for people to check out. And yeah, man, it's definitely something that I just appreciate, everybody, being a part of and things like that. And we're gonna try to, figure out a way to possibly give back. This is the holiday season, so hopefully
Hey
we
man.
can, maybe do something where we send out a merch shirt to somebody who's been a loyal listener or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you tap in with us. Man, I'm lurking, but I know my man C and some of the guys on the Discord
For sure,
are
for
always
sure.
they're always working. They're always around, man. Man, we got a team without even really creating the team. The team just kind of happened organically, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. Even Gordo, shout out Gordo, he couldn't be here tonight, but like, man, I mean, we've been doing it, and man, to many more, bro, to many more.
For
It's the
sure,
holiday
for
season.
sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To many more, man. Keep listening however you listen, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Instagram and or not on Instagram, but you know what I mean. Whether it be on YouTube,
Yeah.
whether it be on
Hey,
on
follow us
you
on
know
Instagram too.
streaming. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Please follow us, man. We're always there trying to have some fun. But one resolution I will say that I want to add with relation to this podcast is to give y'all clips. I know a lot of y'all have asked for clips. You digest things in clip form. There's a lot of podcasts where I will look at the clips and then determine if I want to look at the full episode. So, be ready for that, man. I'll definitely start clipping up the new episodes, start going back and clipping up some older episodes and things like that. So yeah, you're definitely gonna see the increased visibility of the COD out there. But yeah, man, 2022 was definitely our year, I would say. Uh
Yeah.
2023 is gonna be even more, man. Hopefully we can get a deal up some of our production value for y'all. Get a live
Yeah.
studio
Keep it going.
audience. Who knows, man? The sky is the limit. Apple Podcasts, hit us up, man. We can do a live pod for your network. Spotify podcast, man. Revolt. Uh
Hey,
I was
Hulu, I
about
don't
to
know what y'all are doing.
I was
I don't
about
know
to
what
shout
y'all
out I
doing.
was about to shout out Master P, but let's end
Right.
here. Let's end here, bro, because I was about to bring up Master P, but if you heard this, we gotta chop it up
Romeo.
about this, bro. Yes, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Romeo, basically, so it started, rest in peace, Twitch, because Twitch, if you didn't know, he was Ellen's DJ, right hand man on her show. He was also a dancer, Instagram personality, and he had took sadly taken his own life. I think like last week or 2 weeks ago, And Master P decided to comment. So he said, "Rest in peace." He said, "This is so sad." Blah 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 blah. We should focus on our people more. To which Romeo
Right.
had commented and said, "This is a load of shit. You don't even know this person, but you are reaching out, giving all your sympathy when your own children have gone through things that you've overlooked." And basically, he said that he's never got paid. Sure, he's got cars and he's got gifts and things like that, but he's never been paid. And that kind of goes against who we thought Master P was, right? A
Master P was.
businessman,
Right.
right? A businessman, somebody who sticks up for his own people, somebody that makes sure everybody gets a fair shake, everybody gets paid.
Yeah.
But, his own son is saying he's not paying people. And I know at one point that we had, you know, entered for a contest to kind of secure funding for Master P and things like that. But now
Right.
hearing this, what are your thoughts? Is it just show business?
I got three
Is it
things. I got three things.
industry rule number 4080? Record company people are shady.
Hey,
What is
hey,
this?
I got three things. First thing
Right.
is that now I'm not surprised why we didn't hear back from him.
Right.
Second thing is that man, Romeo, this is still your dad. Y'all got an issue. You should have kept that off of social media. That's it.
Right.
And that's how I feel, bro. You should have kept it off of social media. And third thing is this. And I can only speak from like I said, from my experience, bro. And you can tap into this too.
Uh-huh.
A lot of parents, right? They deal with people outside of their family unit with a little bit more business, whatever, and present themselves a certain way. But man, they always treat their kids like parents for some reason look at their kids and don't recognize them as business people or
Right.
professionals or you know what I'm saying? They're just like, oh, that's my
Uh-huh.
son. When it's like, no,
I'm doing a
I'm an
lot of
adult.
work. Right.
Yeah, I'm an adult. My time is money, right? But and this is an issue not even just with parents, but a lot of families
Right.
for that fact, for that reason. Um,
That's why a lot of people say
yeah,
don't do
man,
business with your family.
that's what I'm saying. That's what with Master P, he commented something after they started getting into it. He commented something, and what he was saying was good. It was righteous. It was like, yeah, we could have handled this. We could have did this. We could have did that. But then underneath, it was like, yeah, it's just sad to see, some people are ungrateful, whatever, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, hold on. Right? I read it, and I'm like, look, man, like you apologizing or not even apologizing, you trying to smooth it over and say your pieces, but then you turn around and little bro your son again, like, oh, you just ungrateful, and that's probably how he think about him. It's like, oh, I gave
Exactly.
you all of it. I gave you all of this shit, and I,
Right.
I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to pay you nothing,
Exactly.
right? Right, and that's how a lot of unfortunately a lot of family, a lot of parents look at their younger generations of their families, like that, like, oh, this that's just little cousin such and such. Oh, that's just my
Right.
son. Oh, that's just
Right.
my little brother. Like, nah, man,
I'm
we
not
adults.
I'm not sure if you've I mean, I know you're an entrepreneur and things like that. I'm not sure if you've ever had a business at a time where, you know, maybe, during a holiday season and things like that. But say like, all right, I was selling t-shirts and we were at a season, similar to this where family would ask about, oh, let me get one of those t-shirts or something like that. And then
Right,
you go to charge them and it's a different story. Now
right,
it's like, yo, I can't get this for free, but it's like, yo, I put money into this, like I'm trying to make
right,
some money back. I'm trying to recoup my investment. But,
right.
I
Support
feel
me,
like
support me.
right. And that's why I ask like cuz I know like you've been involved in things like, selling and stuff like that, but I don't know if you've ever been involved in a capacity to where, a family member might, reach out and ask. But I think it's the same with, with friends too. You might have encountered it where a friend, looks at you in such a way, and they're not necessarily taking into account, what you might have done to get to this
Right.
point or to provide them with this. But, they want it for free or they want that discount because of how long they've known you. Hook me up, hook me up. But if I, it's one of those things where, if I hook up everybody, then I'm going broke.
And I'm broke.
Right. So, I think I see the same thing with Master P, right? He's looking at his son more like, yo, we in this together. Your money is my money is your money. But
Right.
clearly it's like, okay, maybe that worked out when he was your son or when he was a child. But now that he's over 18 and he needs his own bread to have his own life and, buy his own crib and take care of his own wife and things like that, he doesn't have any money to fall back on because he wasn't getting paid those years. He doesn't have
Right.
anything to work with now. So, yeah, it's definitely tough, to kind of like work with family and friends sometimes just because, I won't necessarily say they don't respect you, but they would never do that to somebody outside. And
And that's what I'm saying.
that's something that Master P had, or not Master P, but that's something that Romeo had brought up. Romeo says Master P would pay everybody on time outside of the family. But he said not just himself. Romeo said like him, like anybody actually working at the company, things like that, he would be chronically late on. But anyone outside of the company, he would pay on time because that's the reputation.
Right.
So, if you're not taking care of home team, things like this are going to come back to bite you at some point. And
Exactly.
you should handle them first before anything.
And what kind of standard are you setting? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What kind of standard are you setting? You are the benchmark. You are the
Right.
example for them in their business lives. So how you going you don't just have, and they teach us that in business, right? We don't just
Uh-huh.
have external customers. We got internal customers as well. And your internal
Exactly.
customers are your team that you work with every day. You got to treat them with
Uh-huh.
the same respect as you treat somebody externally. So
Exactly.
yeah, man, I hope they get it together. They are father and son, but hey, man, you got to pay a man.
Hey, hey, man.
You got to pay a
That
man.
that's where we're gonna end this episode, man. Make sure you pay your peoples, man. Pay the man.
Pay your people.
Um,
Hey,
but outside of that, man, happy holidays from the COD,
happy
of
holidays.
course.
Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever
Yes,
you
sir.
celebrate.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Um, and if everybody is available, we could possibly give you one episode before the new year, or
that's right.
maybe that
That's right.
episode's gonna hit you on that new year, and then hopefully, if we get Gordo back, we can all hit our top tens. So come back here and discuss a top 10 in music. Break that up between song and album, top 10 in TV, top 10 movies. You know what I mean? I think that would be a fun episode for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Come loaded. Come loaded.
and that's an episode we gotta have everybody here for, man. But definitely, man, shout out to y'all for boosting our analytics on Spotify. Uh,
Appreciate it.
keep tuning in with the COD radios because I know y'all love those. Those are always ranked as some of our top played episodes, and definitely keep it locked because 2023, as we always say, full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead, baby. It's the
Yes,
cod.
sir. Peace.
Christmas cheers, dips and cheers, all in every day. They say Santa knows who been being naughty or nice. I hope I don't get penalized for what I did with the rice. And name bundles, you could just imagine a life. I love Christmas, I could just imagine a wife. The trees, the candy canes, the holidays remind me of the game. The reindeers remind me of the rain. The icicles remind me of the rain. Seen the video she like the fadeaway dance. Wanna kiss it like I got a mistletoe in my pants. She looking at my neck like damn, must've blew your whole advance hand at the Coliseum. Minor kitty is major. Without B-Day love, let me upgrade ya. You know giving's in a rapping nature, so all I want for Christmas is some rapping paper. Deck the halls, it's a Dipset Christmas. We old balls, a Dipset Christmas. Fa la 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 la, a Dipset Christmas. We fly high, it's a Dipset Christmas. Deck the halls, it's a Dipset Christmas. We old balls, a Dipset Christmas.
Christmas chins, Dipset's yeah, ballin' every day. In all my years, standing on 112. Never seen Santa no else. Seen a couple mans go to jail. Try and get Christmas money off gram sales, and that ain't work out. It's a shame. They say Santa know you good or you bad. God making that exception, we in the hood living fast. The cash that we get, I admit it's kinda fast, but we gotta pay the rent and put some clothes on the ass. Gotta pay the rent. Foreign, so Christmas morning cars with ribbons on to make the bras get up on them. All niggas upstate, well, this one is foreign. Until you come home, I'ma keep on ballin'. For sure. You can tell Chris Kringle. Tell him when he in the party, he can pop my single. Christmas cheers, Dipset's yeah, ballin' every day.
Deck the halls, it's a Dipset Christmas. We old balls, a Dipset Christmas. Fa la 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 la, a Dipset Christmas. We fly high, it's a Dipset Christmas. Deck the halls, it's a Dipset Christmas. We old balls, a Dipset Christmas.
Christmas chins, Dipset's yeah, ballin' every day.
No introduction, I'm the man on the mic. Y'all all know the boy flyer than Santa at night. Me and Santa alike. Know why? I'm getting cake here. I grab a ho and make it rain, dear. So fix your face queer, cause I'm raw. On the offer tour, I'm a boss for sure. Talking war, your dog floss a four. That'll give you lead poisoning, cause it's off the wall. I'm a player, fucking constant haters. Around here, I'm calling shots like a commentator. This ain't your common gator stepping on the comp. I had to go get these, wrestled out the swamp. Weaponry to launch, grab it out the pocket. You think, damn, how this nigga carrying a rocket? Blast you for a profit, cause it's kinda funny that my lawyer kinda clumsy how you catch your case and drop it.
Deck the halls, it's a Dipset Christmas. We old balls, a Dipset Christmas. Fa la 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 la, a Dipset Christmas. We fly high, it's a Dipset Christmas. Deck the halls, it's a Dipset Christmas. We old balls, a Dipset Christmas.
Christmas chins, Dipset's yeah,